Ever wondered why bad things happen to good people? Or why choosing compassion can sometimes, unexpectedly, lead to challenges that put our kindness to the test? Today, I invite you on a powerful journey. A story about a king who, in his quest for respect, found only fear in the eyes of his people. But a shift in his understanding of strength and compassion changed everything around him. If you're searching for the respect and peace you truly deserve, stick around. This story might be exactly what you need to hear. In a kingdom known for its strict laws and constant tension, there was a king who ruled with an iron fist. His desire to maintain order was so intense that his people lived in a state of perpetual fear. Every glance, every movement, a silent reflection of their dread. But as time passed, the king, driven by his ambition to earn the respect of his people, began to notice something unsettling. What he had cultivated wasn't respect. It was fear. Confused and restless, he knew he needed guidance. At the heart of his kingdom lived a wise master, revered for his serenity and deep sense of balance. When the king summoned him for advice, the master listened patiently, with the calm wisdom of someone who truly understood the nature of power. He then offered the king a simple yet profound suggestion. Try kindness and generosity. If the king wished for genuine respect, he would have to inspire love, not fear. Following the master's advice, the king changed. He became more compassionate and kind, and soon, the fear in his people's eyes began to fade. But then, something unexpected happened. Instead of being inspired by the king's kindness, some saw it as an opportunity to take advantage of him. Criminals, schemers, and opportunists emerged, testing the limits of this newfound gentler rule. Frustrated and struggling to understand how his kindness had opened the door to chaos, the king once again sought the master's guidance, his face marked by pain and doubt. Seeing his disciples' distress, the master shared a story. Once upon a time, there was a venomous snake that lived at the base of an old tree on the edge of a village. Everyone feared it because it would strike at anyone who dared come too close to its home. One day, a wandering monk passed by. Ignoring the villagers' warnings about the danger, he approached the tree with unwavering calm. Seeing him draw near, the snake raised its head and hissed menacingly. "How dare you come near me? I'll bite you and finish you off, foolish monk! This is my territory!" The monk, completely unfazed, met the snake's gaze and replied, "Why should I be afraid? I do not fear death, for I know my time will come when it is meant to." With kindness, he spoke of love, the freedom of living without causing harm, and the power of non-violence. The snake, deeply moved by the monk's words, decided that from that day on, it would never bite anyone again. But over time, the villagers noticed it had become harmless and began to torment it without mercy. They threw stones, mocked it, and the poor snake, now defenseless, endured the pain in silence. When the monk returned and found it wounded and weak, the snake, hurt and confused, told him how she had followed his advice, only to be taken advantage of. The monk smiled gently and said, "I taught you not to bite, but I never said you couldn't defend yourself. There's a difference between being kind and being weak. You can be gentle, but you must not let others take advantage of your kindness. Protecting yourself doesn't mean harming others. It simply means holding your ground." Reflecting on this story, the king realized that being good and just didn't mean giving up his strength or his duty to protect both his people and himself. Kindness without boundaries can turn into weakness, just as strength without compassion becomes tyranny. The master finished with one final lesson. Kindness and strength must exist in balance. You can be fair while also setting firm boundaries. Being gentle takes courage, but knowing when to stand your ground is an act of wisdom. And so, the king returned to his throne, wiser and more balanced. At last, the kingdom found peace, a place where kindness was valued, but limits were clear. As the master had taught, true balance lies in knowing when to be kind and when to show inner strength. An important lesson, not just for the king, but for all of us as we navigate life's challenges. The story of the king and the master invites us to reflect on a crucial theme that affects us all: the balance between kindness and firmness. We live in a world where kindness is often seen as the key to harmony and healthy relationships. However, as the king's journey powerfully demonstrates, unlimited kindness can, in fact, open the door to abuse and disrespect. What the master teaches is an essential lesson. Kindness alone is not enough. It must be accompanied by inner strength and the ability to set boundaries. This means that in many situations in life, being kind does not equate to being weak. Being firm and protecting our space is not an act of aggression, but of self-respect and valuing ourselves. This applies to all areas of life, whether at work, in personal relationships, or even in the way we relate to ourselves. Now think about this. How many times have you felt invaded, disrespected, or overwhelmed because you didn't set the necessary boundaries? The good news is that you have the power to change this. The key is recognizing that kindness doesn't have to be confused with passivity. You can be kind, generous, and compassionate, but you must also remember to protect yourself and assert your space when needed. So, what do you think about this idea? How can you apply this lesson in your life? Think about situations where you may have failed to be firm and where you could have, with balance, set your boundaries respectfully. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, because in the end, we're all on this journey of learning how to balance kindness with strength in a way that protects and respects us.